Hey everyone, I just got back from watching Shin Godzilla, and alright, before I start talking about the movie, I want to say that I really am lucky that I live in these modern times, because a decade ago, this doesn't normally happen. We don't get to see anime movies or kaiju movies in the theater, because, people figured they wouldn't make as much money, but nowadays, with, this stuff growing more in popularity, like we got this new Godzilla movie from Japan. We got Digimon Adventure Tribe. We got two Dragon Ball Z movies. We got a One Piece movie coming soon, and a Yu-Gi-Oh movie coming soon. Things now are getting better. Everything's coming together because of us fans. Because we're making it all more popular. We're making it a bigger deal, and we're giving more people the opportunity for. It's really easy for kids today to get into anime and kaiju, unlike years ago where it was a lot harder. Things were a lot more obscure. But now there's no complaining today. Things really are getting better, and hopefully by next decade, a lot more theaters are going to be showing these movies from Japan, maybe even from other countries. I really hope that this happens, because man, I really love this movie. It, I'm expecting Toho to make another Godzilla movie. I'm not sure if this one's getting a sequel, but if not Godzilla, maybe like a new Mothra movie or a new Rodan movie or any other kaiju movie, because come on, it's Toho. They can't help themselves. Now on to the movie. Alright, it's been 12 years since we got the last Toho Godzilla movie, Godzilla Final Wars. That was a fun, campy throwback to the second half of the Showa series, where we got Gigan and Ebra, the Hedera, even Minya. All these classic monsters from the goofier movies coming together for a big action movie to end off the Millennium series, as that was planned to be Godzilla's last movie for a while. We haven't gotten a new Godzilla movie until 2 years back with Legendary. I like that movie. It gave me the Godzilla action. It gave me the Godzilla, tone that I've wanted for a while. And this movie, alright, that movie was like the appetizer for this, because this is one of the best Godzilla movies. Like, there's no denying. Like, this is gonna be the biggest, most engaging, probably the scariest Godzilla movie so far. So for a while, I used to think that the 2001 Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack, Godzilla GMK was the scariest. I mean, that's got nothing on this. Man, that movie is still fantastic, but this one, alright, let me get down to it. Starting with the human characters, because I really like the human characters in this. They act like real people. I was expecting a lot of things from the earlier movies, like in the original movie, like in Return of Godzilla, where they find out about Godzilla for the first time. Godzilla attacks somewhere in Japan. They witness it, and they learn more about how to stop this thing. So they think of a creative way to thwart him off, to beat him. I really like the scenes where the team here is, sitting at the tables, talking with each other, figuring out how to stop Godzilla. They get really creative, and there's some funny banter, like a really funny moment where this guy is on his laptop reading radiation signals, and he finds a breakthrough, and and he's just screaming like he's walking all over the room. He's going, "Look at this! Look at this! Look at this!" That got a big laugh from the audience. Also, the higher-up government officials try to keep their cool, and they try to keep their cool. They try to keep a straight face, but when Godzilla is testing their limits, like, they start cracking, they begin screaming, as that anyone would. Like, you don't keep a straight face forever, when Godzilla's around. I was really excited for this, for one big reason, because we're going back to suits, we're going back to practical effects. And the suit in this movie is, man, it's really good. Like, one of the better suits I've seen. Like, top 5 easy. So not everything was like in the old days, because not every scene where you see Godzilla is in a small set in a studio. Yeah, sure, some are, where I think some are. I'm not exactly sure, how this movie was made, but they got actual footage from a real city landscape. And during editing, they put the guy in the suit in there, and they put, rubble and debris and splashes of water in the background. Like, this is the next step in Godzilla. We're not just in an enclosed set where you see Godzilla topple over cardboard buildings. Yeah, there's a little CG here, but it's CG and practical effects blended together right. Right. I still like the legendary Godzilla for its CG because, Godzilla had a lot of weight in the movie. Still, this is what I prefer, where you got the suit, as the main attraction, but all the CG worked around it to support it. And this Godzilla really has a lot of weight to him. Like when you see him topple a building or like a bridge or something, you feel the impact. This guy will make you shiver with fear and all that. So the music here, a few tracks I remember when Godzilla is, when you see Godzilla and there's like a huge choir going on and it's all dramatic. And they used it in one of the trailers. And that's probably the most memorable original track here, because a lot of the other tracks are... Actually, there's another new track about the human characters, talking with each other, figuring out a plan for all this. It's something you wouldn't expect out of Godzilla, because it's got a lot of guitar riffs in it. But it works for the humans. And a lot of music for Godzilla has, without giving too much away, some familiar sounding tunes. I'm also glad about this being the first Toho Godzilla movie, of the 2010s. Because nowadays, everyone's got a smartphone, and, as you expect, they're recording what's happening with their phones. And, social media has everyone telling the world what they saw, from their point of view. And things like that, I'd expect that. So a lot of the humans here are, more identifiable because, we do the same thing. If a giant monster appeared, we'd be recording that in an instant, and we'd upload it online to tell everyone what we saw. So the people here are very realistic. And now on to Shin Godzilla himself, and this is the biggest, baddest, scariest Godzilla yet. Like, Toho did it. They did it. They said themselves, we're gonna make this the supreme Godzilla. Like, this is gonna topple all the other Godzillas. At first, I think they were doing it to one-up the legendary Godzilla because that one was the heaviest or the biggest. More like the fattest. Yeah, probably tired of hearing that because legendary Godzilla was called the fat Godzilla. Whereas Dave Chappelle from Nutty Professor liked to call him Fatzilla. And, when I heard they were making this the biggest, baddest Godzilla, I had a flashback to GMK Godzilla because for a while, I thought that was the scariest because how little hunched over he was and his pure white eyes. Yeah, nowadays, white eyes is nothing. Fish eyes, it's where it's at. Because when you first see Godzilla in here, he stares at you with this giant fish eyes. Like the first time it's Godzilla, man, you will never forget it. I won't give too much away, but they do something creative and new with Godzilla here. I wanted new things done with him for a while. And, man, it's really satisfying in this movie. In the scenes where Godzilla is destroying the city, I can think to myself, how are they going to stop Godzilla this time? In the other movies, if he's not up against another kaiju and he beats the kaiju then he just walks away, then the humans have to do something very creative. And yeah, there's no other kaiju here. This isn't giving too much away. It wasn't advertised. Anything wasn't brought up. No, it's us versus Godzilla. It's more like the return of Godzilla back in 1984. If this gets a sequel, maybe they will include kaiju, but if that's the case, give us a new one. Like a new one that hasn't borrowed, cells from Godzilla, like Biollante or Megagyrus. Like someone entirely new, something we really haven't seen before. Don't give it the instinct of reproducing. We've gone through a lot of that, especially in the American movies. When people first saw, leaks of Godzilla online in those 4 pics, I always thought of him as Godzilla addicted to crystal meth. Think about it. He's got the messed up teeth. You can see his chest bones, and his arms are so skinny and bony. This is the most messed up Godzilla's ever looked like. I'd be pissed off too if I looked like that. So Godzilla's motivation here isn't that revolutionary compared to the other movies, because in some of the better movies, like, he has a clear motivation of why he's doing this. That's to teach humanity a lesson, don't mess with nuclear power. It has disastrous results. They don't bring up much of a motivation in this movie. He has another reason, but it's, I guess a little more petty or instinctive. So my favorite Godzilla will always be one of the Heisei series, like from Return of Godzilla to Godzilla vs. Destroyer. Yeah, that Godzilla is hard to beat. But this one is really damn good. Man, there were moments where I lost it, where my jaw dropped so low. I was also really excited about what he does in this movie. When you see Shin Godzilla, you get a combination of feelings of excitement, terror, joy. Like this has got to be one of the more memorable versions of Godzilla yet. I'd like to see what more they do with him if this movie gets a sequel, or it might get another reboot like this one. Yeah, this movie's a reboot. It doesn't take place after the original 1954 movie like a lot of the other movies did. Like with Return of Godzilla, it skipped over all the Showa movies after the original movie. It just picked up 30 years after. And then they rebooted that movie with Godzilla 2000. They rebooted that with GMK, then they rebooted that with the 2000s Mega Godzilla movies. Also, this movie is subbed, so I guess this means the end of the English dub Godzilla movies. Yeah, no more. I think they're all done. They will be kind of missed, I guess, because the dubs aren't known for being high quality. Because the actors they got, I'm not even sure if they actually got actors. Maybe the people who did the dubs were translating it themselves, or they got their friends to do it, or got complete strangers to do it. Because the acting is very subpar. Like one line is from Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, where this guy just having noodles going, food at last. That's how he says it. Yeah, I'm not gonna miss it that much. Yeah, if we're getting more movies, better leave them subbed. Also, there are bits in this movie where they speak English, so I guess the translation would be a little weird. Characters going, alright, let's speak English for a bit. Okay. Yeah, best to be subbed. So all in all, this is a fantastic movie, like one of the best Godzilla movies so far. Like top 10 easy. So very fitting to have a monster movie, come out near Halloween. If you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it. I recommend it big time. You're gonna love this monster movie. It's something you'll never forget. See you next time.